Hello and welcome once again. In this video, I will tell you how you can make a GET call using TestSigma. So before digging into how we can make a GET API call using TestSigma, I will like to share you a bit of knowledge about the API testing. So what is an API testing? API testing is a software testing type that validates the application program interface. In short, you can say that you are requesting for a resource from a server and the server is giving you a response. So you are requesting in the form of methods, that is, it will be a get method, post method, put method, delete method, or patch method. So in any kind of these methods, you can request for a resource, or you can add the payloads and post a request, and you will get a status code in response. So 200, 403, 404, 500 are the status codes that you get as a response code from the server on execution of the request that you have sent. We will use the REQ RES website for testing. So let's begin the REQ RES website for testing. If you can see that there are get, post, put, patch and delete options are there. The first thing that I will go through is I will click this get options and we see that we get a response. Once we click get for the single users, we will also get a response. The response code is 200. This is the request URL, and this is a single user not found is 404. So we will first test first three of this. We will be listing users, we will be list all the users, we will do a single user test, and we will also do a single user not found test. Let us go back to the TestSigma and create a new project for that. So I am here in the TestSigma, and inside that the first thing that we like to do is to create a project. So to create a project, either you can hit here project, or you can click here and create a new project. So let me create the project first. Click on this project and name it as REQ RES API testing. As this project is a API testing project, so we have to change the name of the project type to API testing. So I will quickly do that and do as REST API testing project. At this point of time, we don't have any versions, but we can do a couple of versions based on our needs. So we will just go and click on the create button to create the project. And once we are done with the project creation, we will be on this page where we have the test cases, test data profile, requirement, test suite, test plan, run results, and environments. Everything will be on the left hand side. The first thing that we will be doing is to create a test case. So to create a simple test case, say we want to create a test case for list users, this one, list users. We will be going to again the create button. Remember this is a test case, and from there we are going to click the create button, and we have to name the list of the name of the test case that we are going to do. So let me try it, list all user test case. Okay, so write test manually. This is nothing to record, so we don't need any recorder here. We have to write the test case manually here. Now once I click on this enter your test cycle, so here let's say list all users. Okay, this is the first we have to give the URL. So, and this is a get one. This is a get one, and the URL is RES REQ. Just copy it from here and paste it here. Now apart from this URL, we have to give this request. So we will be also copying this one. Let me copy it from here, and the page is equals to 2. Once we are done, simply we are doing this the get. So here is get, post, patch and delete, all the methods are there. So this is a get request, so we will be keeping it as a get, and we will be giving a URI, that is REQ RES, then the URL, complete URL, and then we have to click on this send. Once we click on this send, we will get the entire response here. This is the preview option, so we are getting the entire response here. Now if you see that we want to get list, we want to check whether this response, say this response is entirely is the correct one. This is what we are expecting. Now we have to verify the response. So we have to click on this verify options. We have to click on this verify options, and here we need to give the status code, that what is the status code we are expecting. So as this is a get one and this response is 200, so we are expecting the status code to be 200. At this point I am not giving in the expected header content, that I will be showing in the next part of the video. This is a JSON response, so the response body will be JSON. This is not an XML. We have the options of choosing XML and JSON from here, and we have a body type compare. That means it can be strict, it can be lenient, it can be non-extensible, JSON schema and JSONPath. I will be showing couple of these options in the later part of the video. At this point of time, let us keep this as a strict body compare, and let me copy this entire thing from the response we got and paste it here. And finally, once we are done with everything, we will be pressing the create button to create the first API request from the TestSigma. The stored response that I have will be shown in the next part of the video. For this video part, we don't require this store response. Just to give an idea about the store response is that whenever we are expecting to store a value into a variable, we use the store response. Suppose we are hitting a authentication token and we need to keep this token into a variable. For that we need to use the store response. So any kind of variable that we need to store the data into the variable, we need the store response. So at this point of time, we don't need to store any kind of variable, so we don't require the store response. We just only request details that has been given and the verify the response. Very straightforward. Just click on this create button, and once we are done with it, the list all user, this will be displayed in the test step. So this is a test step. So what I am trying to do is that all the get methods, that means list user, single user not found, I will be keeping as a test steps here. Okay, so let us run this one. Just click on this run, and here the environment is not I haven't set an environment, so it is not required, and this TestSigma local devices does not have any effect, so we don't need to do any kind of changes here. Just we can click on this run now. So once I click on this run now, it is saying that the test case has been passed. It is giving the execution time, date and everything. You can click on this more details to get a more detailed explanation about the run that has been completed. And once we see this message, test step executed successfully and the result is passed, so we assume that the test has been run completely fine. Now if we want to drill down more about this, we can click on these options where we have the more detailed way of checking, that is the request details, okay, response headers that we got, and even the response body. These are the things. So this is a very simple way of testing get users or a get method, that means list all users, which is a get method using TestSigma API testing. The next part is that we want to verify a particular key. Say we want to verify, we don't want to verify the entire thing now. Suppose we want to only verify this key value pair, that is the per page is coming as 6 or not. This we want to do. How we can do that? It will be very simple. We don't need to do this entire test steps again. We can just clone it. Just click on this clone and it will be cloned here. We can now just edit it and say we want list all users, verify particular key, say per page. So we want to test a particular key value pair, that is per page is 6 or not. In that case, we don't need to test the entire JSON body. We just only need to test the one of the field of those JSON response. So the get request method and the URL will be the same. The headers, I am not doing anything. There is no authorization required. So fine. Now we directly go to verify response. So it will be 200 only. The only change that needs to be done is the response body type. In the response body type, you can have this JSON, and the body compare path will be JSON path. Once we do the JSON path, we can already see that entire item has been kept in this format. So we don't need require these things, we just only need the per page and say that total page. Okay, total is 12. So we just only need this part. So we have done that. We can update it and we can run the both of them. Just click on run now, and it will run these two test steps. So both of them has passed. The first one we have already checked, so we don't need to do checking on that. If we click on the second test step, it is showing me request details, fine, and the response body. See, in the response body we have per page is 6 and the total is 12. Okay, so we have done the testing of that. This is the response, per page is 6 and this is 12. The response compared type is JSONPath and the status is 200. So we are pretty much done with checking the particular key value pair, a particular field in the JSONPath. Let us move forward to the next item, which is list all users, verify the particular key, say first name of the first data array. So if you check this one, this response is in this response we have this JSON body, entire thing JSON body, and inside that this is an array. The data is in the form of an array. So this is an array element, this is one of the array element, this is another array element, this is another array element. So if we want to test whether the array element of the first element is first name is Michael or not, how we can test that? So what I am going to assert is that we want to check that response in the JSON response whether the first element of the data array is having the first name Michael or not. How we can do that? We will use the same concept. We will copy this, clone the test step, because the test step is the same. We will just edit it, this one. Once we click on this edit, we will do a simple change on the verified response, because that is what is changing. The header, request details all remain the same. In this part, we will just need a help of traversing to this JSON. Okay, so this JSON we just need the help of traversing to this JSON. So what I will do, I will just copy this entire JSON response and go to our website in JSON expression online. If you write JSON expression online in Google, we have a couple of websites. So I will click on the first one, JSON Evaluator. We just paste the response that we have received. It is not showing me in a proper manner. Let me click from here. So I copied the entire JSON response from the original website REQ, and I will paste this one. Now see, we have it proper JSON format. Okay, now we want to traverse to this part of the this key value pair. This is first name of the data element of the first element. So how we can do that? Dollar means entire thing. So that is the best thing, is that if you write something, it will be, you will be getting the result in front of you in the evaluation result. So once we write this dollar dot, so now we have to traverse to that element. How we can do that? It is inside the data. So just write data here. Once we write data, see all the element inside the data is only showing. It is not showing the entire JSON. Now we have how to traverse it to the first name. Very simple. This is the first element of the array. So we will be writing it as the 0th element. Now see, only the 0th element is being getting displayed, not the entire thing. Okay, now if we write dot, which key value pair, which key we want to assert, is the first name. Just click on this first name and see, we have this result. So this is the JSON Evaluator, advantage of using JSONPath Evaluator. So we will be copying this one and we will be keeping it. We have to change the order to JSONPath here, and we will be removing the entire thing, and we will be pasting this one. So now this is expecting what? This is expecting the name to be Michael. We will be copying this one as Michael, and we will be pasting it here. If we have to update it, that's it. Now we have to rename it. Let me rename this one. Say list all users, verify a particular key inside the data array. Okay, so this is pretty simple one. I will run this one and check whether 3 of these test cases or test steps are passing or not. So all these 3 test steps has been passed. Let me traverse to the third one that we have just created and go to the request details. We can see that the response is this one is Michael, and it is being response compared type is JSON type. In the response body we will have the entire thing. Don't worry about that. It will give you the entire data. So our test step got passed, and let's say we don't want to pass this test step now. Let me do a error in this test case intentionally to check whether our test cases are running or it is showing as it is. Let me pull it, give a name to Michael, change to say this name. Okay, now our test case needs to be failed because it is expecting Michael but it is getting a different result. The actual will be Michael but the expected is different. So now see that our test case got failed. And why it got failed? The reason is very simple. The response content does not match with the expected content. Content for the path does not match with the expected value. So what the expected value and the content is not getting matched. So we are done with, let me revert back this change and let me change it. Let me revert back this change to whatever the response I had and update it. So now the test step 3 will be getting passed. So we are doing the list users only at this point of time. We are doing various kind of assertions. We are testing the response header. We have tested the response code, which is 200. We have verified the response body also. We have verified the particular key and the particular key for the inside a data array. The last 2 items that I am going to show is a very interesting one. It is verify the lenient response body for a get call. So let me copy the entire step again and just rename it. Just list all users. Now verify lenient response. What is lenient response? I am showing you what is the lenient response is. Lenient response for a get call. The request will be the same. In the response, once we go to the body compare type, we have an option from strict to lenient. Now once we choose strict to lenient, what it will happen, suppose this ID 8 is in the second position, or you can say inside the data is in the first position. Okay, let me copy this entire thing from here and paste it here. That is 7, 9 and 8. That is 7, 9 and 8. Okay, previously it was 7, 8 and 9. The ID was 7, then 8, then 9. As I have chosen the item lenient, this will also pass the test case. So the order will not be checked here. Okay, whether item is there, that will be checked, but the order will not be checked. So let me run this, update this, and let me run the entire thing. See, the order is not checked, but the same test case, if I change to strict mode, so that is the difference between the strict and the lenient. If I change this one to the strict mode and keeping the order as the same 7, 9 and 8, let me save this one and run it. It is saying that the last one has been failed because the response content does not match with the expected content. That means whatever it is expecting, it is not got. So that is the main reason. And let me revert it back again or change it to lenient mode. So in the lenient mode, you can, if you don't know the order of the data is coming, you can move it to the lenient mode, change it to the lenient mode and run the test case. The test case will get passed, but I will be changing to lenient mode. Update, this will run. Okay, now I will do another testing, which is verify the response header for a get call. What we need to do is that we have to just we have to check the response header. Okay, here it will be very easy. I can merge it to any one of the test case. I can clone it here and just rename it, verify the response header for a get call. So let me change this URL at this point of time. Let us try with a single user, which is /API/user/2. So I have changed the URL. We are doing with the same URI all the time. Let me change it. And once we click on this verify response, the response will be application/JSON and cat set is UTF-8. So in this way, we can check the expected header content also. We'll just update this one and let us run this test case. And we can now see that the response header has also been tested in this entire test suite. Now this is a test case. This is one test case. I am adding the test steps. You can also add a single test case. We can make it a suite of it. This is a way of testing an API using TestSigma. Now a scenario may come where we can need to change the orders. Suppose we want to test this one at this very second position. How we can do that? We can just click on this reorder and just drag it there and it will test it in the second. Okay, let's just update it and give a run. We can run it here. You can now check that the execution will be at the second position. Okay, so in this way we can do a couple of testing. And let me do another one. This is single users not found to check the response code. Here I will test the response code is been okay or not using the 404. So let me copy this URI. Let's check the response header, this one. Let's add this. So it has been also been tested before, but let me copy or clone this one and just do a verification and say here the request will be changed /API/user/23. So /API/user/23, and once we click on this send, it does not have any data and the response code will be 404. So go to verify response and let us at this point of time keep 200 to check whether the testing has been complete or not, whether the testing is going on or not. So this one will fail. Response verify code will fail because it is expecting the status code to be 404, but it will get the actual as 200. So let me run this suite. So this is failing. See, the last one is failing because it is expecting something. It is clearly saying in the message the response status is not equal with the expected response status. Okay, so let us change this one and make it 404. And just update, and once you run it, you can see that all the test cases will pass now. The execution is going on. It is in running state. Now we will have the report. Yeah, all this has been passed. So if you click on more details, you can see that all the test cases has been executed successfully and all are in the pass state.